Club event.
Are you standard equipment?
I'm optional. Reuter Subaru, where our customers are our best salespeople.
Tell Rose and Margaret sent you.
Our eyes have seen it all. Valued employees ignored, discarded, and even forgotten. We've seen bosses void of compassion, completely turning their backs on what they know is right. We've seen families suffer from financial stress and children burdened by their parents' fears. We've seen it happen over and over again, but this time it won't happen to you.
Trust Strubinger and Gazo in case you need us.
We would like to thank all of our loyal customers for making my store the place to shop. If you haven't been to my store yet, here's what you've been missing. We have the largest selection of Carhartt, Columbia Sportswear, and Red Wing around, as well as the best pricing. And don't forget our personalized customer service. My store is conveniently located in downtown Palmerton.
Let us make my store your store.
And we are back here on Computer Wise with a very, very interesting segment. Joining us now, Christian Reuter. Christian is with gateprotect. You're the Vice President for North America, right?
Exactly.
Based in California. Great to have you on the show.
It's great to be here.
Of course, Warren Doring with NetMind Networking and Security, as always. Warren.
Comic relief.
Comic relief. Good. And Warren, you deal with a lot of these kind of products, so that's why Warren's here today, because he'll understand it way more than I will. But I get the gist, because we're talking about security products, firewall, and that kind of thing, and I'm sure it goes way beyond that. But let's first talk about, Christian, your background. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Germany, now being based out of California. I started gateprotect's business from Canada about 1.5 years ago. Okay. And we now expanded into the US, and now I'm based out of California.
All right.
There's worse places to be at.
And we appreciate you coming here for the show today. We really do appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Tell us about gateprotect. How long has the company been in existence, and what does gateprotect actually do?
So gateprotect has been in the business since 2001. Started as a classic startup in Germany. Good idea, but let's get it running, right?
Okay, right.
So it took a couple of years until they were actually able to grow internationally, and that spiked about 2 years ago, when we said, okay, we're going to start expanding into North America as the biggest security market in the world. And yeah, that's how we got rolling. In terms of what gateprotect does, we offer a variety of security products, basically starting protection at the gateway.
Let's define that for our viewers who might not understand at the gateway.
So it basically starts right behind your modem.
Okay.
So your internet connection is being secured by our box, and the box then actually manages your whole network.
Okay.
And the important thing is the amount of security within the box, which is where the term unified threat management comes from, is it's not just a firewall. There's antivirus, there's intrusion prevention, detection.
All in that box.
All in that box.
Okay.
Updating itself so you don't have to babysit.
For our viewers at home that may not be up to speed with what we're talking about, when we talk to the home people, we talk about their cable modem, and then they've got their wireless router, and then they've got their computer. Yep. So your device would be similar to the wireless router?
Absolutely. It actually does the same job. So it is a router, but on top of that, it actually has all of these security features.
And that's important for business.
Absolutely.
Even if you're a small business running out of the home. I mean, if you've got client information, taking credit cards.
That's right.
If you're on a home router, that's insane.
Right.
We're actually at a stage right now where even the government requires even schools, for example, to run appliances like that in order to do content filtering. So basically to make sure that the children are protected in terms of what they're viewing on the internet and what's happening there.
I briefly had an opportunity to look at one of your demonstrations on the product, and it's really interesting because of the amount of information that this particular product can give you about the people or the PCs or the computers that are hooked up to your product. Let's get into it so our viewers at home have a better idea of what we're talking about with gateprotect. And so we've got the box, and the box now would be the central part where I guess if we had a dozen PCs or something in our business, they would be all working off of this box.
Exactly. So the challenge in security nowadays is that the rule set that you have to put in place in order to actually secure your business is massive.
Okay.
We're talking in a network, we're talking about 65,535 ports. So as a network administrator, I would actually need to know what is happening on each and every single one of these ports connected to each and every single computer that I'm dealing with.
Right, and to simplify that, I mean, a port is as simple as if you have a big house and every time you open up a window, that's opening up a port.
Exactly, that is what it is. So the classic way of setting up a firewall or a router as well is you open up ports that connect to an individual PC.
Okay.
So one of the main things that gateprotect does different than anyone else is we don't treat individual computers, but we treat users. So in our environment, it doesn't matter at what computer in the office you're sitting. You will always have your same rule set that's basically roaming with you.
Because I'm logging in as me.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter what computer I'm at. Okay.
So to give you an easy example, let's talk about a small retail environment.
Sure.
So you have offices where all of the managers are sitting. They're probably not as locked down as the sales guys on the floor.
They never are.
They never are, exactly. So now we can give the manager the ability to actually walk down to the sales floor, authenticate at the computer, and show the guys whatever he wants to show them because he travels with his rule set.
Got it. Okay.
So if you look at the screen, and our setup that we've got here, this is an example of a 500 user corporation, so that's a pretty big one.
Okay.
As said before, as a network admin, I need to know about all of these 65,535 ports for each individual user, so that would be a massive list of rules.
Okay.
In our environment, what you have is, as I said, treated users. So on the left-hand side over here, you see all of the active services running in your network. That means we're not treating ports, but we call it services because you don't know what a port 80 is. I know that this is what you need in order to access HTTP, so to browse the internet. So that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, HTTP
That's the
browsing the
standard.
internet.
Exactly.
Right, okay. All right.
So what the interface actually gives you is the ability to get a very quick overview of what's happening in your network. So if I, for example, click on my sales group up here, it will immediately highlight what connections they have inside my network. So these guys, as you can see, are connected to the internet.
So like right now, that's what he's doing.
Exactly.
Okay, so now we know what he's doing.
Well, that's what he's
able
allowed
to
to
do.
do.
Oh, what he's
That's
allowed
what
to do,
he's
not
able
what
to
he's
do.
doing at the
Yeah.
moment,
No,
but what
We
he's
can go
allowed
there
to do.
in a second.
Okay, all right.
So I can see these guys are allowed to connect to the internet, and they have the service HTTP and HTTPS active. So these ports are open for these guys. Usually I have to scroll through the list and see what's happening there in terms of the open ports. So looking at some guys that have a little more rights in that network, the managers as usual, we can immediately see there is a couple of more connections going on, also internal to a mail server, and the highlighted services over here in our list, you can see it's a lot more immediately. So that thing works two ways. I either click on an object in my configuration and get the details, or I can click on a service and immediately get highlighted where it is being used
Find
in my
out
network.
who has the rights to that service.
Exactly.
Okay.
So instead of going through massive lists of documentation, Warren, you've been there a ton of times, I can just actually click on what I want to deal with today and immediately get highlighted where it is being used or what I can do about it.
Right.
And now from this management, the boss comes down and says, you know, that sales department, they're just surfing to the wrong places. I need to stop this and stop it now.
There you go.
Until we have a meeting.
There
you
you
do
go.
that right from there.
Absolutely. So what I can do in terms of web usage and all of that stuff is going to into our statistics client, say, okay, I want to know what's going on in my user group, which is sales, and what they did within the last 6 hours. So I immediately get a list of all the websites that these guys visited, as well as how much traffic they actually created. So that's not too fancy so far, but double clicking on that website immediately gives me detailed information by name. Who was it?
Now, this is all legal, right? I mean, anybody who's working, well, what I mean is like somebody's working for you, you
Well,
have the right to be able to.
It's your network. You hired it, just like you don't want them taking supplies home. You don't want them taking things off the internet that are going to cause trouble.
Aha, boy, this is going to change things.
It's been around for a while. This just makes it easier.
That just makes it easier. And
This is not the first product to do that.
no. It actually is just the first one that visualizes it in that way so that actually everybody's able to deal with it. Network administrators, like Warren is, are able to deal with that stuff anyways because they know how to read their statistics.
Sure.
What we actually do, let me just get that down.
But if I'm a small business owner and I'm not Warren, I can, though, you know, if I've got a few employees, I can go and look at these statistics and find out what they've been doing all day.
Right.
And that's the point. So what we have is a separate statistics-only client that Warren would give to his customer saying, okay, this is your small business. You can always look up all of that information live and can deal with it, but you can't harm anyone because there's nothing you can do wrong with it. So what they can do from right here in their statistics client is actually say, okay, you know, that website might be facebook.com, the most prominent one on my network. They can just right-click and immediately blacklist it for the guys.
And they can't,
That group will never get to Facebook again.
Let me ask you a question. Can I access my stats from the road? Like, say I'm not.
Absolutely,
I'm not
wherever
there.
you are.
Oh, really?
Wherever you are, you can always access that. So that statistics line, or let's say the whole unified threat management unit, now becomes an HR tool as well. So why is that? So what I can do is I sit down with my employee half-year review. So let me see, buddy. So we're now not going by user group now, but by individual. Let's look at James Owen here and see what he did over the last 12 months. They immediately get all of that information. It might actually be a little more interesting not to see what he did, but what he tried to do. So I can do the same stuff with the blocked URLs.
What got blocked, URLs he tried to go to.
So where did you get blocked, my friend?
So in other words, it still keeps track of the website he was trying to get to?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And not just the websites that he was trying to get to. The number that you can see back here is actually how often did he still try, even if he was blocked.
Aha.
So what's he been doing all day?
Wow.
So that way, actually, my gateway protection becomes an HR tool at the same time. And this is critical, especially for small businesses, because now you can actually lock down your employees.
And this is something, even if the small business needed my help, I could go in and say, look, this is what he's doing, this is where he's going, this is what he's trying to do. Have a talk with him.
Right. And sometimes that's, you know, when you have that kind of information, you know, it does make it a little easier to have a good
if you see all the websites,
conversation.
if you see all the websites are business related, you know he's working hard.
Sure.
Exactly.
That's a good thing. You could commend him for where he's been going.
That's a good point.
You don't necessarily have to nail him.
Well, you know what? Let me ask you this. In this day, you know, social networking, of course, is a big challenge for businesses because there are a lot of social networking sites, but then on the other side of the coin, it might be important for the business to be doing social networking.
Absolutely.
So I want to discuss that, but we're going to take a quick commercial break and find out your thoughts on what can be done with dealing with, you know, going to Facebook and all these sites, all right?
Absolutely.
We'll do that in a moment. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
For many, choosing a memorial may be unfamiliar. Fortunately, Walters Monument Company, the specialists in preserving memories in stone, makes the process easier. Walters Monument Company helps you select the perfect memorial, one-of-a-kind tributes of love, beautifully carved or etched in granite. Each stone is created on the premise by experienced craftsmen. For 82 years, Walters Monument Company has offered caring and informed consultation at your time of need. Walters Monument Company, personalized memories for all time.
With current residential realty being a buyer's, not a seller's market, time is right to invest in your home. Investing in your home's landscape can increase the value of your home up to 25%. Sugar Hollow Farms and Landscape Materials offers the area's largest selection of landscape products and accessories. And The best pricing on mulch and landscape material. Sugar Hollow Farms and Landscape Materials. Invest in the beauty of your home.
You rely on their accuracy, value their clarity, and depend on their focus. Your eyes are an essential part of everything that you do. That's why caring for them is so important. At Broadensville Eye Care Center, we'll help you find the type of vision correction that's right for you, from contact lenses to a large selection of custom eyewear. We're here to ensure that whatever you do, you continue to enjoy it clearly and vividly for years to come. Broadensville Eye Care Center, your vision is our priority.
What's in store for you at our brand new Broadensville location? Hop on board for quality smoked meats from the only supermarket with an in-store smokehouse. Next stop, Doris's Cafe with store-made sushi, pizza, and so much more. You'll find fresh local produce